Let's spot the animals. A frog, a leopard, an owl. What do all these animals have in common? Well, have I told you that humans, especially the youth, do the same thing? Confused? They all fit in according to their surroundings. Be sure to find out why it's affecting the youth. Friday at 6 p.m. Yep, you heard right. Because of the YPG event that's happening on the day, let's stay connected. Coming up on today's show.
Oh, on Sunday we had a Sunday chillers. The whole night I was there. Good. the whole night. Swan, I need to use it, and this one is gonna make the difference. But with the neck, it never changed anything. My neck, like I bleached it. I took it and then I would apply on the neck maybe this week and say, you know what, I won't apply on the face this week, just for the neck. Nothing happened.
Eager to know more? Well, let's stay tuned.
We are women. We are brave, strong, capable, unique. We are women to women.
Good afternoon, South Africa. Today, June 16, very special for us in South Africa. We celebrate Youth Day. We just did it in Soweto, and you're going to hear more about our event. As we take the time to celebrate the youth of today, we also make a reflection of the challenges that the millennials, the Gen Zs, and to a certain extent the alphas are facing lately. And one of these challenges, sad enough, it is the sense that they need to fit in. There is a vast difference between fitting in and belonging. And fitting in drags one to extremes with no boundaries, because for different reasons and backgrounds, they came to the conclusion they are not good enough. They are not appreciated. They are not like others, and they need to do something so that they fit in. And in the mindset of doing something, they go to the extremes. When you need to belong, when you have a sense of belonging, there are some boundaries. You know up to which point you go, and you know if it is important or not, and if it does not go in line with what you believe, how you see yourself, you don't necessarily need to belong to that group, to that activity. But unfortunately, generations have been bombarded by the need, the drive of fitting in. We had that, Toko, because of course it has always been there. But clearly we see that in recent years, they have been suffering so much more because no longer human standards. It's no longer about what you see, your community or your school, your workplace. Now the standards are in the internet. So sometimes it is unreachable, but until youth realizes it is unreachable, they get hurt, they carry scars in the process. And what is worse, they don't see their potential. Our event today was promoting that the youth would see their potential. M4M hashtag, made for more. And by the end of the show, if you missed this event today, we will have PJ briefing us with the youth on how can you get involved, how you can participate. Because this month of June, we are dedicating to the youth. We are cutting the show for you. And of course, I know there is our audience that is not part of the youth, but it's very interested in knowing what happened. Today, we have two guests. So 2 hot seats. We have Queen from Soweto and Yonella from Tokoza. And they relate to what we're talking about. They went to the extremes to fit in. And we shall find out if it was worth it or not. Good afternoon to you, ladies.
Afternoon, everyone.
So we are going to start with Yonella. I want you two to share with them a little bit of your background, please.
Okay, I grew up in a very big family where there was no father figure. It was only my mom, and also she had to move, and then we stayed with the sisters, the cousin sisters of hers. So what happened is that when I was growing up, being young, I was mostly told that I am too black, too dark, and then that I was ugly, and that I was not good enough, I was not amounting to anything. So that started at home. So when I went outside, like being with the other peers, when they said this, I already knew that, you know what, when I am in the crowd, I disappear. That means I'm too black and ugly. So what I did is that every time when I'm taking a bath, I would scrub myself so much because I wanted to look lighter. So
How old were you?
maybe around 7 years, I can say 7, 8, those ages.
So you start doing that because of your cousins at home, and
Yes.
then it was reinforced by your colleagues in school.
Yes, like
And you believed in what they said.
yes, I believed so much because I took action and I looked at myself and said, you know what, really I am black and I am so ugly. So I loved like taking a bath so much, not because, you know, when we are young, we hate bathing so much, but I knew if at least I was that person that is always taking a bath, maybe I would look at least a little bit lighter and be accepted and be able to fit in a certain group. Yes.
Queen, a little bit of your background.
Hi, I'm from Soweto. So growing up, I grew up with an absent father, which led me to have inferiority complexes. I had low self-esteem, which led me to become a person who always wanted to be part of a crowd. I wanted to be the it girl. I wanted to be seen. I wanted to be a people pleaser.
Interesting that Yonella said she heard from the cousins and from school. In your case, were people giving you that sense of inferiority, or you think everything was in your mind?
I think everything was in my mind because having that rejection from him, having him choose another family made me feel like I was worthless, like I didn't matter, like I would amount to nothing because he saw me as nothing.
So just because of your father, then you convinced yourself that you needed to do something to be the it girl.
I had to do something to appear. I had to do something to be seen, to be noticed.
Did you feel the same thing that she felt, like maybe because your dad left you, then you felt like maybe because I was ugly?
Yeah. Yes, I felt like I was ugly, like I always wanted to become an image for him, that I wanted him to see me. I wanted to project, I wanted him to see me. I wanted to know him to notice me. So I would look for the love that I wanted from him, from other people.
And your mother was present.
Yes, my mother was present.
And the love of your mother was not enough to curb that
my mother,
need of your father.
Okay, my mother was there, but then she was closed off. She never expressed her love for me. Since this day, she has never even told me that she loved me. She was that closed off, that she used to do, but she never used to show. So for her, I had to be independent. I had to be strong. So I think for her, her past also made it her like that.
Mm-hmm. And what did you do when you started realizing I need to do something about this? How were your first steps towards being popular?
Okay, so my first steps were I wanted to hang out with the it girls. So I used to observe them, what characteristics did they have. So I noticed that they were lighter. So the people that got more attention were lighter. So I knew that I had to some way become lighter. I had to some way...
Lighting complex?
Yes.
In your skin complexion?
Yes. So I had to become lighter. I had to find a way for me to become lighter in skin. So there was this clinic that I researched. I used to use cream before. I used to use this cream, but then the cream would it didn't work as much as I wanted it to work. So I found a clinic in Rosebank where I used to go and perform these procedures, which it was about 2.5 each injection. And then
2,500 rand.
yes,
How old were you?
I was 20.
20.
Yes.
And your mother, what would she say about this?
Okay, so at this period of time, I moved out from home and went to varsity. So I used to stay with my dad. I used to stay with my dad for varsity.
The dad that rejected you.
Yes.
And now, staying with him, it did not change your mind. You still thought yourself to be ugly, rejected, not accepted, and you needed to do something about it.
He used to tell me that I needed to be lighter. He used to tell me that I needed to do something. He used to, like, for him, if you were white, you were perfect. For him, if you were, if you were light in skin, you were perfect. So,
But sorry to cut you. Is your father like white, as he's saying that for you to be someone, you have to be white?
no, he's not light. He's not white, but then he also uses to use those creams.
Oh.
So it comes from home, actually. Now, I have a question. 2,500 treatment for a varsity student. How would you make the money? Or would your father pay for the treatments?
No, he wouldn't. Instead, he would take me to clubs where in those clubs I would meet guys. I would meet other older guys. Those older guys offered to pay. Those older guys took me out. They gave me pocket money. They were sort of my blessers.
And your father was okay with that?
Yes, he was. As long as he was not paying for it, then he was okay with it.
And you did the treatment?
Yes, I did. It was 5,000 a week.
5,000 rand a week.
Yes.
Did it make you to feel better?
No, it didn't. Instead, I
Or
hated.
at least made you lighter?
Yes, it did. I was lighter, but then instead of me feeling like that void was gone, I felt like I wanted to accomplish more. I wanted to be more lighter. I wanted more instead of feeling like it was enough.
So you would pursue for more and more and more?
Yes, I wanted more and more and more. I wanted to be seen more. I wanted more. The more I tried, the more I felt like it wasn't amounting to nothing.
What would your friends would say about you at varsity? I know during the schooling years there is a lot of bullying, but when you get to varsity, bullying is not there. You have your groups according to those who think the same, who do the same things. What would your friends say about you?
Okay, so they usually compliment their parents. So I was wearing weaves, I was wearing this and this and this, I was lighter. So their compliment fed me more. I wanted more. Them saying that I looked great, I looked nice, I looked this and this, made me want to do more and more because I was seen by them.
Then you got what you wanted, to
Yes.
be noticed.
Yes. So I would walk in the street and people would shout because they noticed me. I felt like they saw me. But then them seeing me still didn't feel that void inside of me.
And you would not have any I would not say remorse or regret, better word, that the cost of this treatment, it would be because of these older guys, of blessers, of going to clubs. In your mind, all that was normal.
For me, it was normal to a certain degree because my mother taught me, Gutsi, you need to fend for yourself. She taught me that I needed to, remain pure, as she said. But then I had that guilt in the back of my mind, which made it hard to look at myself in the mirror at some point.
So you wanted to be popular, but with yourself, it was hard to look at yourself in the mirror because all the regrets would come.
Yes, it would come. When I was sleeping, I usually used to cry myself to sleep because I would think of what I had to do the night before in order for me to accomplish where I am today.
So it's like two personas at the same time that you were going all the way out and having the appreciation, calling attention of the guys, being the it girl at the varsity. When you were alone, you were broken.
Yes, I used to think about what I did, what I had to do in order for me to accomplish where I am today. So I used to know what I was doing was wrong because those guys didn't treat me they saw me as an object. They didn't see anything in me, just a girl to sleep with and forget. So those things, they would just call. There was no sort of love or anything there. I was just an object to them. So thinking about that I was spending my time with people like that made me feel like I was also worthless in some sort of way, just an object for them to use and discard.
Yonella, tell me a little bit of what did you do next? Because you were scrubbing yourself. Of course, you would not become lighter.
Yes.
What have you done so that you would fit in? You didn't want attention. You just wanted to be beautiful.
Yes.
And in your mind, you were not beautiful.
Yes. So I remember when I was in grade 8, when I started high school in grade 8. So when I got into high school, there was this trend of saying, at Ekasi, we call it memeza. Memeza, these creams, the creams that we get from where we get them. So we would go there, I would go there and just corner, and then I buy the creams and then I would cream my face. That's what I did when I was in grade 8. I was 14 years old. So when I was at home, I would take
You also
the creams.
wanted to be lighter.
Yes, I wanted to be beautiful and light, yes. So I would use the creams, I would cream myself. I remember I wouldn't even go out. I would say, you know what, the sun is too hot today. I'm going to be much more black. So I needed to stay here in the house and cover myself with this the roof so that nothing is going to affect my complexion. So I used the cream, I used them. But because I was in grade 8 and very young, I wouldn't have money all the time. So I would be light. Next week, back to square one. I'm dark again. And then that week again, I'm using the cream if I got money, because our mom would come. She worked as a domestic worker, so she would come on weekends. And then at least when she goes, she would just, give us, they bribe us, our parents, they would give us at least 50 rands, and then I would take it, and then I would go, my ways, and then I buy these creams and then I used them. But when I'm broke and I don't have like money to buy the cream, what I've noticed is that I would have like pimples, big pimples here on the face. They would like be very black, like dots, a lot of dots in my face, and I didn't love those dots. I was like, I want to be beautiful and lighter. Now I'm having the dark spots again, so I didn't love that. It never made me to be beautiful. So I said, you know what, this is a waste of time. I can't live like this. Why am I now like black this week, next week I'm white and all that stuff? So even my teacher noticed me and said, Yonella, in winter you change, my baby. You change. This week you are light. The other week you look like your complexion is fluctuating. It's changing like moment to moment. So that's what I did to change my complexion. Yes.
I think in your mind you thought that if you bleach, you will forever be like that. You didn't know that it's just something of
a momentary
thing, temporal, because you thought you were going to be white. Of course, everything stemmed from what your family members said to you. That's when now you started thinking, I have to bleach for me to look beautiful.
Yes, I thought like that. I thought I would stay like forever on the category of being white and all that stuff, but it never happened that way. It never. I'm even black until today. Nothing changed. Yes.
And then you wanted to fit in, you wanted to be beautiful, and you realized the creams were not doing much for you. What you did next?
So what I did is, because these creams, they differ. There's the one, when you're in grade 8, you afford the ones of 25 rands. And then I needed something more now. I said, you know what, this thing now, it's not working. I need something more. I changed from the ones that I was using. And then I went to I remember I bought a big one. It was big and it was white. So when I was using that one like made the difference. Like I was lighter, and then I was, when I felt smooth, my chins were so smooth and all. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to stick with this one. I need to use it, and this one is going to make the difference. But with the neck, it never changed anything. My neck, like, I bleached it. I took it and then I would apply on the neck maybe this week and say, you know what, I won't apply on the face this week, just for the neck. At least this week I would apply on my neck. Dololo, nothing. Then nothing happened on the
Would
neck.
your friends say that now you were beautiful because you were lighter?
No, they wouldn't even say that I was beautiful. They didn't even notice me on that lighter phase of the phase of light that I was on. They didn't. There was like nothing. They even never complimented to say, you, Yonella, you are so beautiful. You changed now. You look different. Nothing. Like they would just shush. Yes.
Did it bring a frustration?
Yes, it did. It did so much effort. You know, you go broke. You don't eat at school. You take your money, you bank it so that you can, you know, make yourself to look good, to look better. That's what I thought, you know. But not at all. Nothing changed. No one noticed me. It was just life as normal. And then I was there alone crying. Why am I like this? Why am I? I would even speak to the mirror and say, maybe you want to run away, even you, because I was so empty. I felt empty inside. I felt unacceptable. I felt like I was like nothing. Yes, that's how
Was
I felt.
it painful?
Too much. I cried a lot. Like I cried a lot. Because I never liked to be on the streets most of the time. So what I did when I was alone, I just took a blanket and then I would cry myself so much. I cried. Nothing changed. I cried. Have headache when you cried like so much. Have headaches, and then nothing changed.
Toko, you have been with the beauty industry. Where this concept of being white comes from?
You know, actually, in my time when I was doing modeling, we didn't have the things of bleaching. I had never heard of them, I think because it's quite long. But the thing of skin color, it mattered. It really mattered a lot. I remember, I'm not going to mention names of the people I was modeling with. We had others who were really light. I would even say that.
Yellow bone.
Yes, I would even think I was very dark because, you know, they were regarded as more beautiful, you know. So I think, you know, words, they can kill someone. Because there was a time I remember I was still modeling for paper dolls. Then I just didn't want to do it anymore. Not because I didn't like, but because of a comment, you know, because two of my friends, they were very, very light. You know, Xhosas can be very light, like coloreds. So when they were complimented and you are there, it's like you are not existing. You are just there, they are complimenting them. You are just there, it's like they don't see you. So it really hit me hard. Then I just said, I think I'm going to stop doing this thing because it's like I'm just there. I'm not even regarded as beautiful. People who are regarded as beautiful are the light ones. So it was the words that killed me, of course. I continued because my aunt wanted me to be there. It was a way of protecting me. She didn't want me to go around with boys and all that. So modeling would not give you time for that. You are just busy and you are worried about your beauty. You know, if I go with boys and do this, I will no longer be beautiful. So it's better I keep myself. So that's what she thought. She thought she was doing a right thing for me, of course. But there are many prejudices, a lot of them.
You know why I'm asking that? Because the interesting point, you can see I'm white, ne? Very white. And for us, the concept, the standard is the opposite. Yes. You have to tan your skin, even if it is artificially. You cannot present yourself white like this. They're going to look and say, you look sick, you are pale. So that I'm bringing about to show the fact that there isn't a standard of beauty. Because why the standard for whites is to get a suntan, and the standard of African women is to be white. So what is really beautiful?
Yeah. And another thing, now you reminded me something, Miss Martha. I remember my uncle when he came. Okay, maybe you'll ask uncle how he's white. My aunties, two of them, they were married in England, in the UK with white people, and they were very dark. My aunties were really dark from their father's sides. So when their husbands came to South Africa in Port Elizabeth, the first thing they wanted to go to the beach and turn themselves. Like I was like, one of them really got sick. We even had to take ice tubes and put him in the bathtub. He was like shivering, you know. And I was like, but why do they want to be dark? And people who are dark, they want to be light. And then I could understand that it's not about color. It's really not about color. We have to accept ourselves the way we are. Because you mentioned that, and I remembered it happened with my two uncles that they wanted to turn themselves. They were even saying that, oh no, it's because the South African whites are a bit chocolate. So they wanted to be a bit brownish like the South African whites. Like, oh,
But
wow.
our South African whites are very much soft, like milk.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I wanted to establish is what brought you to be so worried about your beauty, your skin color, and complexion. It was the rejection that was inside. And for you, Queenie, that pushed you from that level of going all out to party with guys, to be with blessers, to be with what we would call sugar daddies. Today we call blessers for those who are not from South Africa, just to identify the terms that are very typical from here. And you, Yonella, since you could not keep on bleaching your skin, but the void was inside, as you said, you would cry a lot. How did you try to be happy?
So for me to be happy was if I'm going out with my friends, we would go out. I started drinking alcohol when I was very young, at the age of 13. So we would go out.
13?
13 years. We would, when there's a ceremony, us black people, we love having ceremonies. So with the bottles, they would take, after the old people, they disappeared, we take the bottles and and then like, yes. So it started there. I would, we would go and drink the elders' alcohol and all that stuff. But I started drinking when I was 13 years old. So for me to be happy at that time, it was to go out with friends and have fun. So we would go and have fun, drink so much alcohol, and we would come in the next morning. Ekasi, they call it lalavuka. Lalavuka. When we are young, our parents don't open for us when it's 2:00 because most of the times other bottle stores or taverns, they close at 2:00. So they wouldn't open for us. So we'd go and look for the next spot where we are going to stay until the next morning. So we'd go and
At the age of 13?
At the age of 13.
Throughout the night?
Yes.
Drinking?
Yes. So we would drink the whole night. And then when we are drinking and having all the fun and everything, they would have because we are young, we don't have money. So we'd have company of older guys. They would buy for us alcohol, drinks, and then we would have fun. We thought we had fun at that time. We'd drink.
In exchange of what? Just for the company?
Okay, so you are making me to remember, if you go with the crowd, you are many, they would say, no, we only want the two of you. You guys are many. If it's two guys, you had to be two also. So you can imagine. And then you guys go, because we loved things at that time. So we'd be like, no problem. And then we go. And
competition.
Yes. If it's two of my friends, it's going to be the two of the guys. And then we drink. And in the back of my mind, at most times, I'll be like, you know what, let me enjoy and give my all, because if I don't enjoy now, tomorrow will come for me, because I've never had a spot where I accepted myself. So these guys, they love me. They can't buy this alcohol like this if they don't love me. So we'd have drinks and all night, and then after, I know that at home it's 2:00, so they won't open. So let me just go with this guy. If he the one who chooses me, it's fine. Even if it's this one or this one, it's fine. And then I would take that route. So it would happen that way, that after drinking, they would say, we're tired, guys. Can you go maybe in my place? And then, no, it's fine. I wouldn't even have a problem with that. And then we would go. my friend would go with the other one, and then I go with the other one. It's fine. And then, come back the next morning. Like,
Would you guys not be afraid of what could have happened?
we would be afraid at times because children will get stolen these days. Yeah. So we would, but
Yeah, because you said the right word. Children. 13, you are a child.
yes, a child, yes. We would be afraid, but they would tell us that you guys are safe, you're in good hands. You see this alcohol like this, guys, we cannot buy you so much alcohol if we didn't love you. So we'd believe their words, telling you that you are beautiful, each and every 2 seconds to say, yo, dark bone. And you never get those words from home, from your friends.
And it was what you were craving.
Exactly.
Because now at least someone would find you beautiful.
Yes. So I would believe them so much that I would even stay 3 days and say, you know what, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to sleep here.
Family say, for example, for all those 3 days you are not in the house, and wouldn't they go out and look for you?
The other day when I came back, the whole location was saying, when I came from this corner, Yonella, your mom is looking for you. This corner, Yonella, your mom is looking for you. But I didn't care. I was like, she doesn't give me the love that I want. So from where I'm from, I was loved. If now I'm gonna be beaten, it's fine. It's gonna pass. It's fine. So I would sleep 3 days. Okay, fine. Sometimes without bathing. You stay there without bathing because the guy is at work sometimes, and he would say, you can't even use my towel. Like, we can't share the towel and all that stuff. So you would stay there waiting for him to come back. Sometimes he would even, Yonella, go home. And I'm like, no, it's fine. You can go to work. You'll find me here. I'll clean. I'll do everything. So that's what I would do. My worst moment of drinking alcohol, I remember one time we were in another tavern, so we were drinking so much, and then it happened that the stuff that we were having, the kind of stuff that we were having, the tavern ran out of that stuff, so we went to another tavern. So when we went to another tavern, I remember it was a NP200, the bike car. The guy was driving the NP200. When we got there, we bought the alcohol and then we put on the bike. And at the back, we were 2. It was me and my friend. And then she got in the car. And then when it was me that needed to get in the car, I don't know if you see that climb, the way you climb, and then for you to. So when I climbed, I lost control because a balance, yes, and then I back fell, and then my legs were up covering me, when you feel like boo. And then I felt the car here. He thought I was already in the car, and then he reversed. I had people screaming, no. And then he was reversing, thought that maybe it's a rock or something. He was busy reversing. Yeah, I got sober there. I got sober in 2 minutes, and I cried and said, you nearly killed me. When I cried like a lot. I cried, and I needed to realize the Uguti, who at this age, everything, like I got sober, and I never enjoyed anymore. I never enjoyed. Like, it hit me so much that I nearly
How old were
died.
you?
I think I was 14 at that time, 14 years.
But
14
was
years.
that enough to make you to stop with this behavior? Or
No,
you
it
still...
didn't. No, it didn't. Instead, it escalated even more because another incident happened that I was this party girl. I went to parties all the time.
You had a nickname, ne?
Yes, I had a nickname.
What was your nickname by then?
They would call me Skildava.
Can you translate for those who...
Okay, Skildava is a totital to say, where do we sleep? Where do we sleep? You are that kind of a person where they ask, where do we sleep when they meet you? Hey, Skildava today. So they would call me Skildava. When I was doing my matric...
You would feel good with that. It was like, for you, it was a compliment.
In the location, they name you by the way you are, your situation, the way you are.
But
they
would
name
you
they
feel
give
good?
you. No, I didn't. Not at all. I didn't feel good at all.
But it was not enough to stop the behavior.
It didn't. When I was doing my matric, 18 years old now, doing my matric.
It's still from that 13 up to 18 in the
Yes,
same kind of
the
life.
same behavior all the time. So we were having. I remember I was writing my trial. Was it my trial? No, it was November, the 26th of November, 2018. I was writing my last English paper doing matric. So on Sunday we had a Sunday chillers. The whole night I was there. Gulu gulu. the whole night. I remember I said, you know what, at least at 2 I will go. It's still early. I looked at the time. It was, around 12. At least at 2 I would go. How time ran so fast, and it was 4 o'clock now. And I said, you know what, in the morning.
And you had to write your last piece of
My
matric.
last paper on the next Monday, the 26th of November, 2018. So I went home that time and said, you know what, I'd sleep 2 hours, at least at 5, I'll wake up at 5. So I slept and I overslept because I had a knock on the door. I don't know, it was by God, let me put it that way, because the way I was so drunk the
Evening before.
the day before, the night before. I went to the door. When I went to the door, it was my teachers. They came to fetch me. So it was 9:15. They said, Yonella, you are writing at 9, and it's now 9:15. You are nowhere to be found. We have been calling you. And I remember we have moved from where we were staying. So they went to the previous address where I was staying, and they asked around and found one of the guys that we were staying together on the same yard. So they asked him to show them where I was staying. So they went. I remember we were staying in a garage back room. So when they got there, I was like, what? And they said, Yonella, it's 9:15 now, and we have been battling to find you. So we were even going, and this guy met us when we were on our way to school to say we didn't find you. And then my teacher was like, Yonella, where's your uniform? I looked at the washing basket. There was my uniform. I didn't even wash my uniform. So at least she said that I can wear a black trouser and then with my old shirt, and then I wear it, and then I went to school about around 9. And one of the invigilators from the district asked me, are you okay? Because on the road, I remember my teacher telling me that you need to say that we got you and you had stomach cramps, and we gave you Eno.
The teacher was helping you to lie.
Yes, and then we gave you Eno at least to ease you. And then when I got there, and then the lady asked me, are you okay? And then I said, yes, I'm okay. And then she asked me, are you pregnant? I said, no, I'm not pregnant. I had to know your teacher said that you said you had you having the stomach bugs, cramps. So, and then I said, no, I'm fine, but I'm fine now because of the that they gave me. I think I'm fine now. And then she asked me, can you write? I said, yes, I can write. And then I went to my chair, and then I just cried and said, yeah, I cried and said, yo, because when I got there, already the other students were writing. So I got the opportunity at least to write, and then I wrote my last paper. Didn't even celebrate that day because it hit home so much that I said I nearly lost at least the first child at home that would have matric, but I nearly lost that because of pleasure, thinking that I was having fun and all. Yes.
How would you see yourself?
To be honest, I believed that I was useless because I got the opportunity that my sisters never got. I had, because they of their own problems, they got pregnant, the two, and then I was the only one because I'm after the twins, and then it's me. It's the twins, and then it's me. So both of them, they got pregnant. And then it was me now. I was the only one that was left with an opportunity to say, it's no longer gonna be us following it's not gonna be us following our mom to being a domestic worker. At least I can do something about my life and be different. But with everything that I was doing, I felt like we are all the same, because now the opportunity, it's all with me that I can change and do things differently. But still, I was worse. I was worse. Yes, I was worse.
So, in summary, you went all the way and you were fitting in the groups of going around, drinking, having pleasure, being a party animal and all that, but you still would look at yourself as useless.
Yes, as useless. I never thought of myself as good enough, even though I did everything that I thought if I did it, I would at least feel better and look better on the crowds that I'm working. But it was worse, because I was even disgusted by myself. I said, you are so like, your behavior is extreme.
That day you decided to change, or you still went on with this life?
It still went on. It still went on. Like, I still went and did everything that I did.
Remorse.
So yeah, it was
You
just
felt
remorse.
scared at the moment, but you went on.
I never changed. I never changed. I went and did the same things that I did, the same things that made me to feel worse. I still went and did them.
For how long?
Until 2019, yes. 2019.
Another 1 year of this crazy lifestyle.
Yes.
Doing all that your friends would tell you to do,
Yes.
but is still feeling miserable.
Yes.
Queen, tell us, what was the worst moment or the extreme you have been through? Because also you were drinking, you were partying. What was the worst?
The worst moment was when I drank the whole night, and then I drank to a point where I blacked out. And I woke up in an apartment that I didn't even know. I woke up in a bed that I didn't even know. I woke up in a place where I looked around and I couldn't even recognize where I was. It was that bad. I didn't know what happened the night before. I was with a guy that I didn't even know what happened, who was he, where I met him. I was so clueless. I didn't know if he even used protection or stuff like that, because it was so worse that I was thinking, what if I was pregnant? What if I had AIDS? What happened the night before? It was that bad.
In that moment, you were desperate.
Yes, I was desperate. That moment, I was desperate. I went out of there immediately, and I went home. I went to my dad, and I told them what happened the night before. And then I checked. They went to a clinic. I checked to make sure that everything was okay.
Was that enough for you to stop the behavior?
No, it wasn't enough for me to stop the behavior. I continued, but then this time I had this thread of wanting to end it all. I wanted to end my life. But I didn't have the courage to actually go and do it. Instead, I would go in the street. I would go at 12, 1 o'clock here in Bree Street walking, hoping that someone would come and take my life, hoping. And then once it actually sort of maybe happened, I met a guy and he had a gun and he said, I'm trying to rob you. And I said, go on. And I wanted it to end so badly that I wanted that guy to end my life, but somehow he didn't. And that's when I decided to change.
So you wanted so much to be popular.
Yes.
You became popular.
Yes.
You became beautiful according to the standards.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But you were not happy.
No, I wasn't.
So from that drive of being popular to fit in, now suicidal thoughts were coming.
Yes.
You didn't have the courage, but somehow you would expose yourself to situations that maybe, who knows, someone will kill me, someone will do some bad to me, and this life will end.
Yes.
And what amazes me, of course, both of them, they wanted to fit in. That is the problem of fitting in. In the beginning, you mentioned that fitting in is totally different from wanting like a sense of belonging. Because when you want to fit in, you go to the extreme. You can do anything. Even if you are told to kill you can do that. Because when you see that for her, when things happened, it's like God was talking to her. Change, she couldn't. The last thing that she almost died, still she couldn't change. She reminded me of my sister. My sister was at the verge of death, but really, but did it change? Nothing. It's because of the void that is inside. Because that emptiness, you try, like with beauty, I'll fill it with beauty. And I heard, I don't know if I'm right, you can correct me, please. I heard that you when you start doing things of bleaching, you become addicted. The lighter you are, you want to be more light, isn't it?
She said that. Yeah. She said she wanted more and more, 2 injections a
So it's
week.
the same as when you do these things. I think you become even addicted. Like, I want to do more. This is nothing. Drinking is nothing. Let me try smoking marijuana, or let me try to do drugs. You become addicted to doing wrong.
Yeah. I have a question. Isn't that, or it's my perception, very tiring to try to match people's standards for you?
Yes, it is. It's this point, but then the standard goes up to that point. So you're always going to be trying to reach another standard. You're always going to be trying to emphasize, to do more. Eventually, your more won't be enough. It's not enough. The more you try, the more it feels like you are failing. The more it feels like you are drowning.
And why did you try?
To fit the standard.
Yeah.
I wanted to be seen. I wanted to know. I had this void inside of me. The more I wanted more. I wanted to be seen. I wanted to be noticed. I wanted people to know who I was. I felt like I didn't matter. So them seeing me once, I felt like I would matter.
And then they would not notice you, or long enough, you would go to another level.
So they would only notice me for that few minutes, and then there was someone else. There was going to be someone else who's more beautiful. There was going to be someone else who's more lighter. There was going to be someone else who had all of it. So you always had to do more in order to fit that standard.
That night was your turning point.
Yes.
When was your turning point, Yonella?
Okay, I was from the nightclubs. And then when I got home that day, like, it's my usuality to go each and every week. It was my usuality that time to always go out on weekends. So at that day, every time when you get home, because my mom already, she was in faith. So every time when you get home, you would find like it's messy at home. It's very messy. So at that day, I was so tired and everything. And I said, I'm not going to clean up. What I have to do now is just to take a bath and follow her. So what I did when I got...
But did something happen in that nightclub that made you to stop and think? Because you were nearly killed.
Yes.
You nearly compromised your matric. And nothing was strong enough to make you stop. What happened that night?
To be honest, I don't even remember like what happened on that night. What I remember is that when I got home, just seeing that mess at home and me not wanting to clean up, I said, I just need to take a bath and follow my mom.
They were made for more, so much more, as you are made for more. We are going to find out this turning point just after our break. Welcome back. What a special day. Maybe you didn't have the opportunity to join our event in Soweto, but shortly you're going to learn a bit more with PJ of what happened and how can you be part of it. Girls, Yonella, were you made for more?
Too much, yes, I was made for more.
And what happened? What was the turning point?
So on that day, I took a bath, and then I went to the church. It was during COVID-19. I remember we had to wait outside. Like there were chairs outside. We would wait for the 9 o'clock service to end. It ended at 9:30. And then after it's going to be a 9:30 service. So I went to that service, and then I just sat down there. And then everything like that the pastor spoke about, it was me wanting to fit in, wanting to be seen, wanting to be recognized, wanting to be approved by people. Can't God be enough? Can't God approve you and you feel enough? And I said, this pastor, he doesn't know what he's talking about. So after the service, one of the YPG mentors, he came to me and said, hello, how are you? And then good, everything. He noticed me. I was like, what? Okay. And then he invited me to one of the hangouts that they had there in Thokoza. So I went there, and then when I sat down and I was like, because they always do, they grab us when we go out. So that day I said, let me give these people a chance and sit down. So I went there, and they spoke. That day they spoke, I think, about God's desire and our desires. So they made a difference. And then I said, these desires, they differed, and it made me to reflect in my life. And then I said, I am not going anywhere here. I'm never gonna be out of this group, because of how they conducted themselves. They were so confident, and when I looked at them, I judged them and said, this one is darker than me. Why is she's so confident than me? No, I judged them and said, I need to be part of these people. They need to tell me the recipe, what it is that they are doing that makes them to be so confident, to trust what they are saying.
They were who you wanted to be all along.
They were who I wanted to be, just to accept myself and love myself the way that I was.
Do you still need to fit in?
No, I don't.
So who is Yonella today?
Today I don't know how to put it. I'm fit in. I'm fit in. There's no need for me to go out to be noticed. I notice myself. God notices me. I don't need anyone to say, well done, you look beautiful today. Look at your hairstyle, how you are dressed. When I go out of my house, I just tell myself that I am enough, and I'm going to do my best, and I'm just going to give myself with everything that I do, because I believe that I was made for more. Yes.
Queen, were you made for more?
Yes, I was made for more.
What happened that night?
Okay, that day I took a decision to accept my sister's invitation, and I went to church. And at church, I felt like the burden that I was holding, the burden that I had inside of me was lifted. I found a family. I found a place where I didn't have to live for the standards where I needed to try to fit in. I found a place where I was accepted. I found a family where I didn't have to continuously try to do things in order to fit in with them.
Who is Queen today?
Queen is a different person today. I'm happy. Today I found the happiness that I was looking for outside. Today I found my value in God. I found my worth in God. I no longer have to please people. I no longer have to search in order to please and comply with the standards of the world, but I know my worth in God.
And what's your treatment today?
Nothing. I don't have to go out and search for treatment. I don't have to bleach my skin. I'm perfect the way I am.
Both of you, how about your friends? Probably you don't have those friends anymore. You were not part of the group. You were an outcast. Yes. Did it bother you?
No, it didn't, because the more I changed, the more I knew that I can't fit in anymore. I wasn't supposed to be there anymore. They wanted different things, and I wanted something else. It was okay for them to move away, and I moved my own way also.
Did your nickname change?
Yes, it changed. I changed my nickname by my behavior because I was never now needed to be asked of where I'm going to sleep. I knew because they called me, I believe, because of they would always see me like roaming around, looking like someone that doesn't know where they are going. Now they see that I have a direction. When I am walking, there has to be somewhere where I'm heading. Yes, so they no longer call me that name. Yes.
Last question. Are you respected in your community?
Yes, I am respected in my community. Not to brag, but they always like referring to me as an example. Because I remember first time when we had to evangelize, I asked my pastor and said, we can't go to my location. They will never believe. They would never believe to say, come to the church. Me, no, I am not going. At least when you are going somewhere, you can call me. But now, But he sat me down and told me, you are a great testimony. When you go there and tell them, if you are going to stay at home and not go, you're going to be holding others. They would see you and say, we can change. We can be better. So now in my community, I'm that person that can motivate others. I notice people that have the same problems that I had at that time. When I see something is offish with maybe the youngsters, I go and then I confront to ask what is the problem. So I believe I am a different person and reliable. Yes.
Queen, did you have your dignity back?
Yes, I do. It's now I have my dignity back. I no longer do what I used to do before. Instead, I'm completely aware that I am.
Do you feel good about yourself? How is your relationship with your mother, with your father, those who rejected you?
I have forgiven him. I have forgiven my father completely, and we speak once in a while. We speak, and we're okay. And he no longer pressures me to do what he wants me to do, but he accepts and knows that what I stand for.
So now we have heard their testimony, and I want to bring about what is God's point in this.
Let's see God's point in this.
In summary, God is telling you, you were made for more. And I wanted to prove that through reading Matthew 11, 28, 29. They were in that situation, and maybe you are today in a similar situation like them, and God is telling you. Then Jesus said, come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. You saw that through what they said. They were weary. They wanted to fit in, and they had loads and loads of burden on their shoulders. They turned into very wrong ways of life, trying to find a solution, trying to find appreciation, trying to fit in, but they could not because they were going through the wrong way. The answer was exactly in the words of Jesus Christ. He is telling you, come. Come because right now you are weary. Right now you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. You are trying to fit in. You have gone to such levels that you might even be ashamed to speak. And he says here, take my yoke upon you. The yoke is his mission. Let me not go into the concept of what a yoke is. But in this case it says, just carry my principles. Just obey me. Just follow my guidelines. Bring my guidelines upon your life. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. They found rest when they found and accepted the invitation of Jesus Christ. You are made for more, but you need to accept this invitation today. You might have had a similar life. You might have tried by all means to fit in. Still, you find yourself not enough. You did all that your friends asked you to do. You did more than that. You lost your dignity. You lost your identity. You even lost reason for living. Jesus is telling you today, you are made for more. Come. He is going to remove this burden and give you life. The life that Queen and Yonella have today. Standing tall, speaking about their past, so that through their example, you may find your path and a future in your life. Today, just to change the format of the show, I want them to give the conclusion of the matter.
Now for the conclusion of the matter.
In conclusion, if you are a young person and you are battling with accepting yourself, I am here to tell you that you need to accept yourself, you need to love yourself, so that when they come in your space and tell you that you are not good enough and tell you that you are not made for more, you are going to know that you are worth it, because you yourself, you started to accept and love yourself. Their opinion won't matter. What they say, it will just bounce back to them. You need to look front, look upright, fall in love with everything that they say it is ugly. Fall in love with everything that they tell you it is not good enough or was not made well, but make it to perfect and fit you. Yes.
You are perfect the way that God made you. You need to accept what He says about you and know your worth through His word.
Now we're going to go for PJ. What happened in Soweto today and how the youth out there can find the help that they found that brought their life back, and today they are referrals to other youth. It's with you, PJ.
What is up, everyone? It has been a long week. It has been a long, exhausting, but amazing day. And a huge shout out to everyone who was present in this amazing event, this movement which began today. It didn't start and finish today. It was not just about today, but a continuation of this work of hashtag M4M. M4M kicked off today in Soweto, the holy ground.
And definitely we'll have much more results. I believe we'll have results from today, from all the schools who were present, the performances, everyone.
The educators, the teachers, the principals. A huge shout out to all of you who made it present, the whole squad. There were so many lessons. And we got to see, we didn't see much of what happened throughout the country since we just got back, and we just had a little glimpse of what happened throughout the country, but we know that everybody was together as one. On Sunday, we'll have a full release of what actually happened. But I do believe, as Stali said, I do believe that there was really a transformation of life. I'm sure that it was not just one more event, but this is the beginning of a brand new kickstart in the work of the YPG, transformation of lives, mindset, which is definitely something we spoke about, the stories, the life stories which was shared. As you mentioned, the performances, everything, the arts and culture with the beautiful performance of all the projects. It was really an awesome work. Huge thank you, obviously, to the YPG fam, the woman to woman team who always supports the work here.
Every year we are together.
Yes, every year.
June 16, after June 16, the woman to woman.
Together as one.
It's always together as one.
Together as one. And I would like to say that there is more to come. And we will have to make another takeover. Shh, we have to make another takeover here in the Woman to Woman program very soon, but we're not going to leak it yet. Not yet. You guys will just stay woke to what's actually going to happen. We'd mentioned a snippet of it today in the event, but you'll see it very soon. Just stay woke to it.
And for those watching now, I know you are tired and maybe you just got home as well and you saw that the Woman to Woman is on and you are watching. So drop here in the comments below what was your experience, what did you learn this day, what was different for you from the previous events that we had, and what are your expectations from now on? Since we just started this movement, what is your expectation? What else? What is going to change from now on in your life?
What will change in your life? Exactly. That's it. And once again, we have been promising from the beginning of the year that we are going to another level. God bless you all.
Bye.
I think now it's time to pray for them. Toko, I really would like you to pray for those who might be watching, who knows even they have been in Soweto, but it still did not click. They didn't have that opportunity. PJ told them what they can do, how to contact the YPG, but they need prayer, they need courage to stand up and claim their lives back.
Our Lord and our Father, in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Lord, we thank you for this program that we had today, because I believe, my Father, that it has reached so many people outside there. Not even only young ladies, but even women and men, because one of the ladies here mentioned that even her father was into this thing of not accepting himself, bleaching himself, because he wasn't feeling enough. That's why he was pushing his daughter as well to do that. So I pray for each and every person who's watching this show today, my Lord, that you reach out to them. Maybe, Father, this person feels like they are nothing. They are useless. They are told each and every day how ugly they are. They do not want even to accept themselves. Some of them, they do not even feel pleasure to look at the mirror because they feel so ugly, my God. So I ask you today that you reach out to them, my Father. Speak to them, speak to their minds. When they watch this show today, Lord, please open their understanding, open their minds to understand that without you, of course, we won't be enough. But with you, we are enough, my Lord. And teach them to learn to accept themselves. Lord, I pray even for those who participated in the event of the youth. They did not take the message to consideration, Lord. Maybe they just came and enjoyed what was happening, but they didn't take the message. Today, Lord, I pray for them because I know that they are empty inside. When they sleep on their bed, it's just tears because they don't know what to do. They feel empty. They want to fit in. And by trying to fit in, my Lord, they end up even hurting themselves. So I ask you to help them, my Father. Allow them to accept who they are in you, my Lord, and call them as your word says, my Lord, so that you can help them. You can help them to change, to be transformed from inside out, Lord, because it's only you who can fill this empty void in their lives. I pray, my Father, that you remove the stubbornness inside of them and for them to see that only you can help them. The world has nothing to offer to them because the world gives them pressure. They are always pressurized on what to do, how to fit in, my Lord. They end up even sometimes hurting their their skins with what is happening around here, my Lord, because many people think that for us to be beautiful, we need to be light-skinned, and for you, my Father, it doesn't matter. Black or white is the same. What matters is our soul. So, Holy Spirit, I pray for this soul that is lost in this world, trying to be transformed by the world. May they come to you so that you can transform them, Lord. I pray, Father, because I know that you can reach out the same way you reached out to Yonella and Queen. You can do the same. You can give them the same peace, the same joy, my Lord, that you gave to them. I pray, Lord, that you bring understanding to them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. So the best way to celebrate Youth Day in South Africa is what we have shown you. You were made for more. Just accept the invitation. Today can be the turning point in your life. And we prayed that it may be like it was for them, and here they are today. Next week we bring another topic, and we are going to go on, reminding ourselves that youth is the future of this country. So why not investing in the month of June with topics that are going to make you strong? Youth is strong in South Africa. God bless you all. Enjoy your weekend, and until next week, Friday. Bye-bye.